Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here with your all stuff, no fluff news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about MAME, where MAME stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, or Multiple Arcade Machine Emulation, depending on how you wanted to interpret that. Anyways, MAME just released version 0.285, so pretty much like all the other months, the MAME development team has been hard at work here, has a whole bunch of fixes, compatibility improvements, optimizations, and even more. They say here they've added support for an early unreleased version of Atari's Relief Pitcher running on their System 1 platform. And also, the Apple Lisa is starting the year in substantially better shape. On top of that, if you're a fan of light gun games, there's something else that I think is very exciting. There's a brand new plugin that lets you now assign buttons to reload when you're playing something like Virtua Cop or Lethal Enforcers with a keyboard, mouse, or trackball. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comments below. If you are interested in reading up more about this, there's a whole lot of information here that we didn't cover. And like everything we talk about, links are within the GitHub link in the bottom of the description below. I don't hide my sources. And speaking about multi-system emulators, next up we're talking about Manic Emu. Manic Emu is an all-in-one retro game emulator for iOS. It packs powerful features while keeping a clean, sleek UI and delivering buttery smooth gameplay. And Manic Emu got a brand new update. So at the time of filming, version 1.8.2 is the latest and greatest update, and this update adds even more systems this emulator can handle. It adds support for the Atari 2600, 5200, 7800, Jaguar, and Lynx platforms. They've re-added CD and 32X platform support in the App Store version using the J-Genesis core. And on top of that, they've added the Desmumi core for Nintendo DS games, with support for custom resolution settings and real microphone support. They've added cheat code support for Nintendo 3DS via Azahar. PSP now supports importing cheat codes in .db and .ini formats, and even more. Next up, we're shifting from something that has just been updated to something that will be updated fairly soon. We're talking about emulation front-end iiSU. The iiSU team has announced that iiSU Alpha v5 is releasing on Monday, February 2nd. They've been hard at work delivering on the concepts in their entirety. This update will focus on multi-scraper support for assets, enhanced customization and menu navigation, as well as lots of stability improvements. Next up, we're talking about EmuSync, which is a game-save sync tool for PC games and emulated games, and EmuSync got a brand new version. So at the time of filming here, version 1.0.9 is the latest version, and this has some fixes for people using Dropbox who had to relink their storage provider after a computer restart. And hopefully that fixes that probably a bit of a headache of an issue. And speaking about fixing issues, next up here we're talking about phones overheating and a very interesting 3D printed solution. So this is up on Reddit Emulation on Android, and if you're interested in learning more about it, you know where the links are. They say here they made a 3D printed phone cooler adapter for their controller. And the end result is fairly impressive. They even provided the 3D printing files if people are interested in making their own. And speaking about hardware, next up we're talking about GPD versus Bazzite. Now we've talked about this one a couple of times in the past here. It started out with GPD claiming that they had official Bazzite support for their upcoming Win 5. The Bazzite team said they're not working with GPD, they have no idea what's going on. The GPD team said they had sent a device, a Win 5, to the Bazzite team for them to work on Bazzite for the GPD Win 5. The Bazzite team then said again, we don't know what's going on here, we're not involved with GPD, and please stop calling out Bazzite and using the Bazzite name and all of that to market their system. And then GPD has come back here with some more information, and I think we finally have the exact reason as to what's going on here. So based on my understanding here from this GPD statement, they were working with someone from the Bazzite project known as Antheus. The problem is that Antheus is no longer with the Bazzite project. They were kicked out of the project. There's a whole bunch of drama going on, and I'm not going to cover that bit. But at the same time here, it seems that Antheus was still claiming they were with Bazzite or something like that, and well, there's something going on there. So again, based on my understanding here, Antheus was removed from the Bazzite project a couple of months back, give or take, due to repeated violations of their code of conduct. So it has been a little bit, and long enough I would say, for Antheus to realize they may or may not be misrepresenting Bazzite with GPD. Anyways here, Antheus does have their side of the story. Feel free to check it out. Gaming on Linux has this well written up. Just completely wild. And speaking about claims and hardware, next up we're talking about the upcoming PlayStation Portal OLED, possibly. So it's being claimed again that the PlayStation Portal OLED will be releasing in 2026. We've talked about this one in previous videos where there were rumors of Sony considering a Portal OLED. And now it seems more and more rumors are surfacing and it may come to fruition. Let me know your thoughts about this one. Would you be interested in a PlayStation Portal OLED? And speaking about interesting stuff, if you're a fan of Fallout 76 and New Vegas, you may or may not be interested in this brand new DLC. Fallout has announced New Vegas-inspired bundle for the Xbox, Steam, and PlayStation versions of this game. And it's called Mojave, and it's $30. It's just cosmetic. So let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. I've seen a number of mixed reactions here. Some people are excited about it. Some people are not excited about the price. And I think the price is going to be the big sticking point as to whether or not people actually buy this thing. Again, let me know your thoughts. And speaking about buying stuff, next up here, we're talking about Final Fantasy VII on Steam. And I would say it's kind of a now or never thing for this game on Steam because they've announced that they are re-releasing Final Fantasy VII, the 2013 edition, but just under a different name and, well, under a different store page listing. So here's the announcement, an update regarding the re-release of Final Fantasy VII 2013 edition on Steam. A new version is coming. Current version owners will keep access and can obtain the new version at no extra cost. They go on to say, when the new version launches, Final Fantasy VII 2013 edition will no longer be available to purchase on the Steam store. Existing owners will continue to have access to Final Fantasy VII 2013 edition in their library. The new version will be listed on the Steam store as Final Fantasy VII. All players who already own the 2013 edition are eligible to access the new version at no additional cost. And both versions will remain accessible in the owner's Steam library once the new version is released. Now, in terms of what's changing here between the 2013 edition and the new release, unfortunately, I've got no idea here, but they do say saves are not compatible between the two versions, so something is changing. We're going to have to wait and see on this one, but at the same time here, Final Fantasy VII, the 2013 edition, is currently 60% off. Now, in my opinion here, and I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I don't think the new version of Final Fantasy VII that will be listed on the Steam store will be initially 60% off, and I don't think it's going to be priced at less than $10. Could be wrong. So it may be a really good time to pick up Final Fantasy VII if you were interested in it, if it was on your wish list, because you get the new version absolutely free. And speaking about new stuff, next up we're talking about Backyard Baseball. And if you're a fan of Backyard Baseball, you might be excited to know there's a brand new Backyard Baseball game coming this summer. Unfortunately, I don't have more details like gameplay or anything like that just yet, but considering this is going to be releasing this summer, I'm guessing we're going to know more about this very soon. Feel free to check out Insider Gaming if you wanted to learn more about Backyard Baseball. And speaking about upcoming games, next up we're talking about Virtua Fighter 5 REVO World Stage. If you're a fan of this one, you might be excited to know that it is coming to the Switch 2 on March 26th. There will be an open beta in February, and I'm glad that Virtua Fighter is going on more platforms, especially Nintendo here, because I don't think Nintendo has ever had a Virtua Fighter game. On a quick side note here, there will be a few different versions of this game. The digital edition priced at $20 US, the digital anniversary edition priced at $50 US, and that includes a bunch of DLC and stuff. And a physical version priced at $50 US, that includes the DLC and all of that stuff. But the physical version appears to be a game key card. And speaking about game announcements, next up we're talking about Darkhaven, which is an upcoming action RPG from the creators of Diablo and Diablo 2. And taking a look at the announcement trailer here, and I would say this game looks absolutely fantastic. It is in development. A Kickstarter will be launching, and they have a Steam store page listing for it. Unfortunately, I don't have a release date at this point in time. I don't have a price, but take a look at the gameplay. Feel free to check out that YouTube trailer, and you know where the links are. The only point of caution I've got about this one is that it will be a Kickstarter project. And continuing to talk about upcoming stuff, next up we're talking about Stop Killing Games, or the Stop Destroying Video Games Initiative. And listen to this headline up on Gaming on Linux. Stop Destroying Video Games Initiative to get a public hearing organized by the European Parliament. If you remember, the other day we talked about the signatures being validated, over 1.2 million of them. and that is granting them a hearing with the EU Commission. So based on my understanding here, the Commission has until July 27th to respond to this, and then a hearing will be organized afterwards. I am really curious to see what happens on this one, and I'm curious to see what stance the Commission takes. Will they be standing on behalf of the consumer, or will they be standing on behalf of the corporations? My gut, and I'm not a betting person, but my gut tells me that they may stand on behalf of the corporations. We'll have to wait and see though. But I mean, realistically, I could be wrong here, and I really hope I am, because we've seen some good things happen in the past, arguably on behalf of the consumer, like USB-C and Apple, and I'll just leave it at that. We have seen some promising things, and I'm really hoping that promising things will come from this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you're interested in learning more about it, check out the Gaming on Linux article. There's a lot of great information here and some very helpful links. And speaking about helpful stuff, last up here we're talking about Transmission, which is a BitTorrent client. And Transmission just got a huge new update to version 4.1.0. So taking a look over on their GitHub, and they say they've been working on this release for over a year now, and they're excited to finally get it over the finish line. I would say this is a massive update. There's a whole bunch of bug fixes, optimizations, performance improvements, and new features. I mean, they've added here an option for sequential downloading. On top of that, they've added an option to verify a torrent immediately after it finishes downloading, and even more. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Feel free to discuss anything we talked about in the comments below. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.